Hey everybody, welcome to the launch of RockBot 1.0. Now, if you're familiar with day trading radio, you know that I've been working on the bot here for going on 2 years now. It is just about completed. I am doing some follow-up, instructional videos to help people apply the bot in their trading platforms. This is a bot that runs on the NinjaTrader platform, and it is called the RockBot. Now, what the RockBot is, I'm going to go into a little bit into detail if you're not familiar with it. I trade full-time since '96, and I do an online show each and every day at DayTraderRockStar, and I teach a methodology called the high probability setups, and that methodology has been proven and tested over time and adjusted. And again, a full-time trader here, so I am always searching for things that I know that work. And over time, doing a show and everything, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to keep an eye on all the setups. I concentrate on swing trades, I concentrate on scalps, I concentrate on people's questions in the room and stuff. So basically, I've been kind of designing a bot that would alert me to when my high probability setups would trigger. When I see one of those and want to take a trade, the bot would actually give me an alert. But knowing that the bot could also take those trades for me, that's an option also. More into that in a little bit. So, after all the coding and the testing and just tweaking of this, the bot is completed. We've had sales for it for Day Trading Radio members who are lifetime members. You're going to get that first opportunity to get that running on your machines. I want to give you instructions how to do that in this video. And if anybody else is interested in the bot, you have a chance to purchase it or lease it. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. All right, so let's just talk about what the bot is. And again, like I said, we're trading certain setups in the market, and I've basically programmed those setups to be identified on the charts, on the NinjaTrader charts, using these scripts. Our strategies that come with the bot: a buy divergence, what we call it a code name Thunderbird. So a Thunderbird script, it's a 1-minute scalping mode, and a Thunderbird short divergence script, also a 1-minute scalping mode, and that's very important. Anything on the 1-minute time frame, those trades will be much faster than, say, a trade on a 5-minute time frame or a longer time frame. RockBot buy divergence, Thunderbird 5-minute extended profit mode, and again, expecting bigger moves on that. Bull flag scalping script, bear flag scalping script, and then what's been the last to be completed here is what's called the super signal, and this is a multiple time frame and adding a tradeometer confirmation signal to this. Now, we didn't add the tradeometer. You're going to get the tradeometer with the RockBot. You actually, when you get the RockBot, when you lease it or buy it or whatever you do with it, you're automatically going to get the tradeometer with it. It's a whole other indicator. It's a whole other setup. It's excellent. It works great with the RockBot. So I felt that it was very important to kind of put them together. Original gangster, more on that a little bit later, and our reversal candlestick identifier. These are all, and again, you have to be a little bit familiar with the NinjaTrader platform and the add-ons for you to be able to use these scripts. So if you have any problem with that, just kind of catch up and get up to date on the Ninja platform, so you can understand how to import the script and have it running on your machine. I could show you. I'm going to show you as best as I can, but it's better to have a better understanding of that. With these strategies, what the important part is this: you're going to have the ability to set the parameters for you. So these are not set up as a strategy. It's going to just get in, automatically put in that a tight or a dead stop and look at a certain profit zone. You get to define those depending on market conditions. All right, I could guide you on conditions and stuff, but the final say is up to you, how you want to have that stop set up, how you want to have a trailing stop set up, where your profit, how many contracts you want to take. So this is all open for you. This is all unlocked for you, and you're able to actually put whatever you want in there. And you're going to learn a lot about this, how well this works. And this is very important. A lot of, you don't want to be just stuck in one tight strategy where you might be getting chopped up because the market's a little too volatile. We're just going to finish the overview of the RockBot now. So how it works, we went over the strategies. Pretty simple. Again, each one of these strategies are taught here at Day Trading Radio, and they're part of the School of Stock. So if you're familiar with the School of Stock, the divergence setups, the flag setups, the 2020 flags, the channels, everything here is incorporated into the bots, and that's what I'm using the bots for, to identify these trades. Now, this is an important thing that I say. When I originally did this, I wanted to identify the trade setup, the high probability zone, the thing that I know that I want to trade, but I also analyze it personally. I take a visual look at it and confirm it with my own personal experience and knowing where the market conditions are. Everything has to be looked at, and you have to understand these trades will get automated because that's what it is. It's an automated strategy, but it doesn't take in consideration if it's raining outside. It doesn't take in consideration things that we cannot track. Especially the coronavirus or any type of news that's going out and it's forcing the markets to go down. So when we know that maybe to take those longs on a shorter profit, range, take them off quicker, follow up closer with a trailing stop versus a market that's going in the direction of the trade. So we adjust those trades. And you're going to be able to adjust those trades, and that's how I would like you to use it. Just don't set it and forget it. Set it and then manage it. All right. The object of this thing and the whole purpose of this is to identify the trade zones. Not every trade zone is going to be good in every market condition. So we have manual order placements. That means if the order gets placed, you can move that order around. And that's a really good thing. Long and short modes. Right now, I have long and short scripts. Working on just a switch where you could just take long trades or short trades, but you could do it anyway just by running those long and short scripts. So that's your modes. The unique safety net. This is from the original Gangster. I want to go into that in a separate video altogether, but that's pretty cool. And then goals. We're going to have goals set up on it. That's one thing that I haven't finished yet, meaning that you'll trade until you're done with it, but that's not a hard thing. I think you could do that in NinjaTrader anyway. Next couple videos that you're going to see is just helping you set that up and configure it. Now, I was in the process of configuring my 5-minute setup before, but it is a memory. I tell you one thing that I don't like about the process with this being on the NinjaTrader. It is a memory hog. It takes a lot of power, especially when you optimize a strategy like the one that you're getting with with the RockBot. There's a lot of different parameters that you could set and go through all those combinations and optimize it going forward. And man, I just do a 2-week or 3-week or 1-month optimization here. It takes me 7 hours. Now I know it's probably my machine. I have other things running. But just you might run into that problem. That's just a research problem. Nothing to do with the regular trading. But when you do the optimization, and I'll show you that. So, and basically, when you do get those, this is what it basically looks like when you see it. I'm going to show that also. All right, when the trades aren't taken, this is 1-minute. Scalp setup, and I'll show you how I set it up here. So the 1-minute divergence, RockBot looks for divergence on the 1-minute chart. When it finds a divergence, it'll take the trade. It's defaulted to 5 contracts. It has 2 profit targets and a trailing stop built in. The pattern that it searches for is the foundation of the HPS methodology, and I really don't want to miss these. So that is our number one: the 1-minute, 5-minute, and the super signal. These are the key setups there. The flags are continuation moves, reversal candles, they're add-ons. The original Gangster is a kind of an offshoot of the a Thunderbird, but it has a different profit, has a different safety net applied. So that 1-minute Thunderbird, let's start off with understanding that's important. And don't forget, I mentioned also with the RockBot, you get the tradeometer. So the tradeometer is going to be running on the screen. The RockBot, you have that up and running. When the tradeometer gives you that alert, and you get the audio alerts with tradeometer also, if it's telling you a sell signal and you're getting a trade up and you're getting a RockBot signal saying the short, that is what we considered a a super signal. It's a super signal. It's two of the greatest indicators you're getting working together. You have to have them running, and all you have to do is wait for the signals to happen at the same time, and you have a fantastic trade there. I always stress for beginner traders to focus on this so you don't overtrade. Only take the high probability setups. The areas that you have, you could take the 1 minute, the 5 minutes, but the super signals and the combination tradeometer and the RockBot really forces you to take the best setups. And I really, try to install that discipline into newer traders. All right, and once you understand the concept there, then you can be a little bit quicker on the trade and trade that 1 minute time frame, which is a little bit faster, and your profits have to probably take a little bit, quicker. Anyway, as you go down the page, you'll see these. This is the steps to purchase this, and this is especially going out to Day Trading Radio lifetime members who got the RockBot with that, and you already purchased it. You put in your name, your email address, your ID of your machine, and the ID of the machine. If you go to I'll walk you through that right now. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go up here. This is the control center, and you're going to go to help, and then go to about, and it's going to bring up a box, and it's going to give you your machine ID. I don't bring it in there because that has all my license information and stuff on it, but just click on there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put that into here. And then make a comment or just say, hey, I'm a lifetimer. This is my, you have your username. I want your username. And then your subscription type. And again, you don't have to fill that out if you're a lifetime member and already got the bot. But if you're getting the bot for the first time, these are the different things you have to mark. Which one you want, a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime bot or lease. All right. And then from that point on, you go down here and you purchase that. So you go through that, click on that. It'll bring it up to the RockBot. Put that information in, credit cards, everything, which one you're doing. And that lifetime elite is actually the Day Trading Radio, but I want to switch that. The results on this one here, $17.99. I have to get that price up on that. The other one was the exclusive Day Trading Radio, all exclusive. That's where you get Day Trading Radio, RockBot, Tradeometer, School of Stock, and everything for life. But again, a lot of people don't have to worry about that. If you got the lifetime, sale, you just have to put in, I have the sale, and give you your machine ID. If you don't have it, then you have different options. CRPM or myself, if you are a lifetimer and you want to upgrade to the bot, you don't have to pay we have a discounted way of adding you on, so you don't have to pay the full price. All right, this next section, I'm going to show you how to import that. When you do purchase it or get it, I'm going to send it to you in a file. And you're going to import it into your machine. So you're going to go to your tools. You're going to go to import, and when I send it to you, you're going to save it onto your computer. Then you're going to go to Ninja Script add-on. It's going to open up your computer, and you're going to pick the file that I sent you. And then it's automatically going to install, and then you're going to have the strategy, the RockBot, installed on your NinjaTrader. All right, that is after I send it to you. Let me get back over here, and then what you're going to do. And if you're not familiar with, some people are familiar with this. Some people might even have it automated. But I'm just going to go through a basic way of starting things up. We're going to just open up a chart. This is the way I like it to do things. I open up a chart. You pick your instrument. We're going to just put up the ES. If the ES is not there, you got to add it. You could add it. All right. So it's up there now, and then you push OK. Now I already have my indicators already set up on this. I already have my moving averages. They're all set up as a default. Now I believe when I send this script to you, I could send the whole thing, so it's going to look just like this, with the moving averages, with all the templates. It's going to be the same. Over here you have your kind of control panel over here. You'll see it says Sim 101, but there's also a pull down where you can connect your accounts to it, whatever account you're using, or you can make accounts to trade it, test it. And you're going to get a basic chart here. All right, and then what I'm going to do is to run the script. you're going to go over here to strategies up on the top, and it's going to pull down a strategy, and we're going to just run the Thunderbird 1 minute. And I'm going to have to teach you about these two because there's a couple different ones, but just for an example, the other ones will be follow-up videos on each indicator, or each strategy, I should say. But you're gonna the main one is the Thunderbird 1 minute by SS, which means it's the 1 minute, but it's also ties into the super signal. So you're always gonna have the. Don't worry about Thunderbird. These are other strategies I work with and stuff, and I'm always testing. So you might not have all these on your screen, but the ones you're going to be sent is the Thunderbird 1 minute by SS. That's the first one you're going to load up. You're going to click on it. You're going to click add, and then it's going to give you a set of parameters over here. And the parameters are open to do now. Now, to get these numbers here, and again, remember, we're working on a 1 minute time frame. Our chart is a 1 minute time frame. We'll put it on. For me, what I do is I set up a script for a 1 minute time frame, so I know it's in that I could adjust that chart to that name, the chart name, the account name, and the chart name has to match up. So then, I'm going to put it on Super Signal 1, Super Signal 1, and that tells me that it's going to be running out. That way, I track all these individuals. You could put all of them on one account. All right, but for the testing purposes, and I find it much better if I keep these things separate when I test it. Now, when you're running this on your own platform and you're using your own account, you could open up individual charts and individual time frames and individual strategies and have them run all off the same account, and that's what I would recommend. I think it's better than having it all run on the same chart and have them, crossing over each other and stuff. So your parameters now, it all comes default 5, and again, this is set up right now. It's set up for trading futures. So it's defaulted to 5, but you can put whatever you want in there as how many contracts you want as your lot. Your profit, take profit. Ticks, and we're using ticks as a determination of profit. You use ticks points. All right, so we're going to use ticks, and we know 4 ticks make up a point when we trade the ES. All right, 1 point, basically 1 point is equal to $50 profit. So it's $12.50 per tick. So just to kind of times how many contracts you want, that's kind of just figure that out if you wanted, but you would probably already know that. So on a scalping mode, especially in a down, what I like to do, again, if you optimize this, it's going to give you different results. Maybe it's going to tell you the best optimization is for 8 ticks. I like this is the way I like to do it. I like to put 3, first profit 3, and especially in a market like this. Take profits, lot. Remember, this is lot, how many contracts you have. So the first profit, how many you're going to take off? You had 5, you're going to take off 2. Take profit second, 2. So there's 2 target areas. And it could be 10 ticks. It could be 8 ticks. 8 ticks would be 2 points. It could be 16. It could be 30. It could be whatever. We're going to put it up. We'll put it up as 20 right there. And I want to take, after that, I want to take 2 more contracts off. That's going to leave 1 left, and the one always gets, whatever's left over, always gets set a trailing stop. Initial stop loss. And again, this is going to play a big part of if it's a volatile market and the markets are moving at like 10 points at a time, then you're going to have to make your stop a little bit wider to let these things play out. In each candle, a candle could be less than a point. It could be, one candle could be 5-6 points in some cases on a 1 minute time frame. That could be a huge candle just because of the news effect in the market and how things are moving. So you have to take that in consideration. And when you trade, hopefully you're trading along with us because we're always adjusting this. And I'll tell you, hey, there's the volatility. The range requires us to adjust the starting stop. So the stop loss on that. So I might want to put that down to 12. I'm just making it to 12. And then Trailing start. How many ticks do we want for the profit to go up before we start to follow it up with a trailing stop? Now, I usually put this, is kind of interesting, I put this at 3. So what it's telling me is after 3 ticks higher, it's moving a break-even stop up. But after 3 ticks, we're also taking profits. So our first profit's coming after at 3 ticks. So that's going to bring it up 3 ticks under the high, or under, 3 ticks, excuse me, under that level right there. That just, so it's going to be a break even basically. If we went up 3 ticks, and this started at 3 ticks, and we moved the stop up 3 ticks underneath where it's at, we're going to actually start it off at break even. Sorry if I got a little confused. It sounds a little confusing there. There's a lot of things to deal with here. And then the trailing stop ticks, I keep it at 1. So let's. So that's my parameters. Now you could. Let's see here. We're going to make sure that our data series is on whatever month we're trading or whatever vehicle we're trading. It could be the NQ. It could be the YM. The account, I just put it on this account for my own reason, but it could be under any account that you set up. Calculate on bar on each tick. I like to calculate that. The label, it's going to have a label. It's going to show up in the upper left-hand corner. I use that label. You don't have to have a label there. Look back, 256. I don't really change any of this. The only thing is when you start it takes 20 bars required to trade in the beginning when you activate it. Start behavior, wait until you're flat. All right, let's see. Enable. This is where you want to actually click on this. It's going to enable the script to go live. I just leave everything else here as default. Slippage. I mean, this is all handling stuff. You could put your commissions in there. But nothing else here I really change here. So the important part is, and what I sometimes message, you have to make sure you click on the enable button here and then push apply. Now when I do this, it's actually going to take these parameters that I set up here, and they're going to apply them, and it's going to go all the way back as far as the look back, 256 bars, and it's going to place the scenario that this played out, to kind of back test it and put those trades in there. But it's also going to activate going forward, so it gives you an idea of. You'll see if it's working. All right, so we're going to apply it, and then it's going to turn kind of gray there. I'm going to say OK, and then you can see it up here. Now what it's doing, it's activating, and it's going through, and it's going to show up anything that fit that criteria of that strategy. Is going to show up on here. Takes a few seconds. Boom, there it is right there. All right. And you could go back to see all the setups here. So it hit it here, and again, lots of times we're going to get these nice trades, and in the conditions where we're going down, if we're taking a long, that's why I like to take these things off on a fast bounce. We get the divergence, we typically get the bounce, and that's why we have to protect that. So I have a very, very tight trailing stop that comes up after the first target, because I know the trend has been down. If we know the trend is higher, then I can make all this a little bit different in the parameters. I could give it more of a room. I could say, all right, I'm going to follow it up at 6 ticks instead of 3 ticks. But this is ideal for this type of negative market. If you want to try to counter trend these moves down, you have to keep it real tight. So 3 ticks with a 3-tick stop and 3-tick follow. Some cases, again, here's a great divergence. You have a low, big reversal candle, higher low. You get your divergence signal here, yet it moves up, takes profits, takes second profits, and has a trailing stop. But again, if you had the parameter set for a bigger trailing stop, you might have been able to take this all the way up to here. It really depends. The object here and the important part of this is a trade identification bot. That's what it was meant to be. I can't be responsible for someone putting in their own parameters, and the parameters are too tight in a market that's too volatile. So you have to I can't stress that enough. This is about identifying the trade zones, having this so we don't miss it, because these are money-making trades. This is where we're going to make most of the money, and it's very important to have this tool with you so you can identify these levels. The market comes down super fast, and I don't mind activating it. You know, put your live account on it, activate it. You know, 5 MES or something, and let it play out. But be the hands-on so you can adjust the stops. Right now, if your stop is, in this case, your stop is very tight, or maybe 6 to 8 ticks. I mean, and sometimes this move, right, this one candle went from 100 to 96, 20 ticks or something. I mean, remember 4 ticks to a point. This dropped almost 10 points. I mean, so there, it's much more than that. So I'd like to put that manual stop underneath the candle. Big reversal candle, it moved up. Again, trailing stop came in, protected the profits, it rolled over. Most of these are going to work out really well. But in some cases, you won't even get that big bounce. You get a little divergence, and you get a little pop in the trailing stop. 92. It was just, just hit its stop. It got chopped up here. And this is where we are right now. So right now it is active. I think when this thing activates here in the next trade, you'll see it come up, and I'll bring it up to your on your attention here. Now, what I do also here is, I don't know if these are going to transfer over with the strategy code, but it's my indicators that I use. I believe it will. But I put in my watermarks here, and I turn this. I think it's an add-on. I make it white. I make it pretty bright. I'll put a 9 there. Now you can put the instrument and symbol there. It'll show up. If we leave that like OK, and as you see ES0320. But what I do is I'm going to go back to that. And I go over here. I pull this down, and I say custom text. And so I know what I'm trading here. I'll put in here 1 minute either divergence or 1 minute Thunderbird, and I'll put the buy, and then I could say ES. So I can look at it, apply that, and then it's on the screen here. So that's what you usually see during the show when I'm doing the show. That's how I get that up there like that. So now we have an active thing, an active trade. The Thunderbird is running. I want to let you figure out and go through the process of attaching it, depending on how you're running your NinjaTrader. If you're using a NinjaTrader account and using their brokerage, which is a good brokerage, they have $500 margins for the ES, which is perfect. The MES is super cheap, $50 margins on the MES. So you could really, really learn to trade and not put too much at risk, and really put this to, it's a good thing. But it's not the perfect thing. You have to understand what markets are about, direction, sentiment, being able to recognize counter moves or bigger moves from bigger, indicators. This is definitely a great tool to have. You get these big moves. I love it. I'm so excited to finally get this out to you. So again, this is the Thunderbird 1 minute super signal. And we're going to see if we get a live alert here soon. I'm going to pause this and bring it back with the live alert.
Order
all right.
canceled.
There was a divergence right here. You can hear it taking place right here. It's a pretty decent candle, double bottom, much higher low. I just caught this. I'm long this also. And I'm seeing multiple signals. And this is a pretty decent candle.
Order submitted.
And you're hearing those order submitted, and that's something you're going to hear on your side because we have multiple.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Oh, look at this. Look at that nice move.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled. Order
all right,
filled.
so it's working its way up here. It's taking profits.
Order canceled.
See all these profits that are being taken, targets hit, and then it's moving the trailing stop up. And because of the size of the candle, it's taking that profit, coming back 3 ticks, and then taking it off it, but it still is maintaining the, sorry for the noise in the background, it's still maintaining that bidivergence because of that candle set up here and the way things are added up. So that's why it's giving us all those, and it's kind of in a hyper scout mode. And you see this lots of times in the beginning of the day or when there's some news out there, and you can see there was a volume spike here overnight. So this is kind of an interesting setup. I think that whole thing just, I don't know how much the profit was on that, but it just popped nice off of those lows. And that was a nice double bottom divergence. You see how high that stochastic rotation is? These are the ones that really give us the biggest moves, and you can see it right there. And probably would be too fast to take if you didn't have a bot working in your favor. But you know what? It still could go much higher. You know, let's see how this plays out. But at least and again, this is what I wanted to show you. So when you have that divergence, you could adjust this. Right now it's adjusted for a trailing stop. But you could adjust this, say with new divergence, you want to grab that and drag it and click on wherever you want to place that stop. So you could follow it up manually right there. You could follow this. You could increase this if you want that to go up higher, and that's how you would do that. So manually, you should be on the just on the move on following it up or letting it. See, it's automatically going to take over. See what happened right now? It moved it up to break even, and it probably could get stopped out here because it's such a tight stop. But it's already taken the profits. Again, this trade right now is up. The second part is 200. The first was off two contracts, filled. And there order it was. Canceled. And the last order, it says order canceled. That means that because the trailing stop came in, that last target never was hit, so they canceled that order, so it's not hanging out there. So there it is, a completed trade on the RockBot, and an interesting one too. I just wanted to get that record that for you so you could see it and hear it. And I'm going to close that video off now. I'm going to follow up with a series of videos. But this one's basically to get you familiar with the RockBot, what it's supposed to do, how it works, and it looks pretty good right now. And we're going to get that out there. So again, one more thing before I move this on, I'm going to be doing the other videos over the next couple days, just really discussing the different how to activate the different scripts. The video tomorrow will be the short script. I'll do a couple combination ones. I might as well do the combination, just to get them all done. Right now we just showed you how to set up the 1 minute super signal 1 minute script, which is the 1 minute divergence script, but it's also part of another script which you need running for everything here. So again, review the website if you're familiar with or interested in the bot. All the instructions are there, how to get it, the different packages, the RockBot 6 month. And again, this is a pretty decent price. We can't manually do it month to month, really. It's just too much work. So we have to put it into blocks of time. So 6 months is going to be the shortest amount of time, yearly and lifetime. And lifetime comes with all the free updates, all the new scripts and stuff. And again, Day Trading Radio. Again, if you're part of the Day Trading Radio family and you are lifetime, you could upgrade to the bot with a discounted price. You don't have to pay the full price for a lifetime. It's and if you consider that, that's all added in there. All right, so that's that. We're gonna get this out, and then. And don't forget the great tradeometer too. The tradeometer is always running 24/7, and that looks pretty good overnight too. I wish I could bring that tradeometer up for you right now. That's actually looking really good. All right. Well, thank you for dealing with me with the RockBot, and I'm going to get working on the next video. See you soon.